In Jeha, we believe that every human being is just as necessary as building a story, a school that later we call a family. Founded since 2003, we always think that international education that we've been running since 2013 should be affordable and should be for everyone. This pandemic, creating an unforgettable history, but this also leads us to think of the needs of our families in Jeha. And to facilitate all these needs, we decided to create three main programs, plus one more thing: offline learning programs, blended learning programs, online learning programs, and Skolaku programs. Offline learning program with only 10 students per class. The total class hours at school are 3 hours for playgroup and kindergarten, and 6 hours for primary, secondary, and advanced. We also have a health check and hygiene check because we always care about your children's health. Starting at only $2,100 per year, and all assessments are conducted offline. Blended learning program with only 10 students per class, with a total hours of 3 hours for all levels of education and 2 options for 2 days, Tuesday and Thursday, and 3 days for Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Health and hygiene check, and starting at only $1,000 per year for 2 days and $1,100 per year for 3 days. Quizzes and mid-semester assessment are conducted online, while the semester assessment will be conducted offline. You will also have the full access to CH Virtual Learning. Online Learning Program. You have all the access for the CH Virtual Learning with one-time interactive meeting per week, one-time discussion forum per week, and even joining all the festivities happening at school. You also have all the library facilities should you need some books, starting at only $900 per year, and all assessments are conducted online. Last but not least, Sakalaku program. Get in touch with our Google form by clicking this link below. Register through CH License Center 0812 3921 9233 via Telegram or WhatsApp. Are you ready for changes to come? Where do we start? In Cheha, we believe that every human being is just as necessary as building a story, a school that later we call a family. Founded since 2003, we always think that international education that we've been running since 2013 should be affordable and should be for everyone. This pandemic, creating an unforgettable history, but this also leads us to think of the needs of our families in Cheha. And to facilitate all these needs, we decided to create three main programs, plus one more thing. Offline learning programs, blended learning programs, online learning programs, and Sekolaku programs. Offline learning program with only 10 students per class. The total class hours at school are 3 hours for playgroup and kindergarten, and 6 hours for primary, secondary, and advanced. We also have a health check and hygiene check because we always care about your children's health. Starting at only $2,100 per year, and all assessments are conducted offline. Blended learning program with only 10 students per class, with a total hours of 3 hours for all levels of education, and 2 options for 2 days, Tuesday and Thursday, and 3 days for Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Health and hygiene check, and starting at only $1,000 per year for 2 days, and $1,100 per year for 3 days. Quizzes and mid-semester assessment are conducted online, while the semester assessment will be conducted offline. You will also have the full access to CH Virtual Learning. Online Learning Program. You have all the access for the CH Virtual Learning with one-time interactive meeting per week, one-time discussion forum per week, and even joining all the festivities happening at school. You also have all the library facilities should you need some books, starting at only $100 per year, and all assessments are conducted online. Last but not least, Sekolaku program. Get in touch with our Google form by clicking this link below. Register through CH License Center 0812 3921 9233 via Telegram or WhatsApp. Are you ready for changes to come? Where do we start?
Wave Beats Music.
In Cheha, we believe that every human being is just as necessary as building a story, a school that later we call a family. Founded since 2003, we always think that international education that we've been running since 2013 should be affordable and should be for everyone. This pandemic, creating an unforgettable history, but this also leads us to think of the needs of our families in Cheha. And to facilitate all these needs, we decided to create three main programs, plus one more thing: offline learning programs, blended learning programs, online learning programs, and Sekolahku programs. Offline learning program with only 10 students per class. The total class hours at school are 3 hours for playgroup and kindergarten, and 6 hours for primary, secondary, and advanced. We also have a health check and hygiene check because we always care about your children's health. Starting at only $2,100 per year, and all assessments are conducted offline. Blended learning program with only 10 students per class, with a total hours of 3 hours for all levels of education and 2 options for 2 days, Tuesday and Thursday, and 3 days for Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Health and hygiene check, and starting at only $1,000 per year for 2 days and $1,100 per year for 3 days. Quizzes and mid-semester assessment are conducted online, while the semester assessment will be conducted offline. You will also have the full access to CH Virtual Learning. Online Learning Program. You have all the access for the CH Virtual Learning with one-time interactive meeting per week, one-time discussion forum per week, and even joining all the festivities happening at school. You also have all the library facilities should you need some books, starting at only $900 per year, and all assessments are conducted online. Last but not least, Sekolahku program. Get in touch with our Google form by clicking this link below. Register through CH License Center 0812 3921 9233 via Telegram or WhatsApp. Are you ready for changes to come? Where do we start?
Wave Beats Music.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. We will be talking in English today because Pak Jelmer is speaking in English. Hopefully, first thing first, we'll be giving the time for Pak Jelmer. So thank you, Pak Jelmer, for giving some time to share with us. Pak Jelmer, do you mind to unmute your microphone so we all can hear you as well? And we have opened the access for the share screen, Pak, so you can just simply click the share screen and so everyone can also take a look. All right, so Bapak Ibu, jadi hari ini kita akan didampingi oleh Bapak Jelmer sebagai presenter kita hari ini mengenai equipping for real world because he's an expert in that. So let's hear some more from him. We will be starting at 4:30. Basically, it's actually 4:31 already, and we'll be ending at 5:30. There will be some question and answer session at 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes before the session is ended. So everyone is allowed to start collecting your question during the session. And you can also start simply type the message or anything that you want to ask to Pak Jelmer. All right, everyone, time for Pak Jelmer.
Thank you, Pak Doni. Good afternoon, everyone. Selamat sore semua. My name is Jelmer. I have a 1-hour session with you today. I hope you will enjoy. I hope you can understand my English properly. So, share screen. Okay. Okay. Today's meeting is making our next generation ready for the real world. Most of us parents, we are from a different generation. We are all born when internet wasn't a big thing yet, and the students right now, they live in a completely different world. It's more digital and everything needs to change. We need to change also education as well. And today I will talk about making our next generation ready for the real world. So the things that we can do here at school and the things that we might be able to do at home. Okay, the purpose of today, we'll have a short introduction, the triangle of development and production, the body, the mind, and the environment. We will take a look at education and its current development, what we do here at school, what we try to change with other schools. We'll inform you about the necessity of learning certain life skills. Why is it important that we do a lot of these projects here at school? What is the use of it? And as last, we have engineering jobs and the future of engineering. Now, let's start with the introduction. I have a nice video on the background. Now, my name is Jelmer Kroesen. I am the IGCSE homeroom teacher here at Sendakya Harapan. That is grade 10 international class. For the next academic year, I will be teaching physics, mathematics, business, and geography to our students. I have a background which doesn't have much to do with education. I studied mechanical engineering and electromechanics, and with my job, I developed machines. I designed machines. Companies came to me with certain problems. I give them a solution or try to give them a solution. We'll make a prototype. I'll make drawings like you see playing on the background here. This has been made by AutoCAD. And if the project is acquainted, if the companies want to buy my project, we will develop it. We will develop a certain section in a factory where we will develop the product and we will run the product as our own. In the background, you can see a device which we invented. It's with an engineering company where I worked for. This is a machine which builds greenhouses. Now, over the past 30, 40 years, especially in the Netherlands, we've grown a lot of greenhouses. And in the last 10, 15 years, California, one of the American states, also started to build many of these greenhouses. We have a certain luxury that we want to eat certain vegetables all year long. So we need these greenhouses everywhere. Now, this is a company which came to me. They asked me, Pak Jelmer, when we had a storm and the glass is broken, we need to empty the entire structure. All the plants need to go out. It takes a lot of our production and all the plants will eventually die anyways because they're out of their environment. So we decided to design a machine which can build them in the first place, and it can also repair them. Well, the repairing part was a bit harder, but it's still working now, and we sold a bunch of these robots to companies which build entire greenhouses. So this is just one of the projects I did. I did a lot more. And here at school, I also hope to help some students with their projects. I'm not going to hold their hand or anything. I'll just give them ideas and they need to do the rest by themselves. Now, the triangle of development and production. I've decided to put in a little triangle with 3 skills. Our body, which is, as you see here, we have knowledge, our mind, and the last thing is nature, the environment. Now, looking at our body, what we need to do with our body is skills. We need to study a little bit. Without studying, without any background information, we do not know what we need to do in a certain situation. So learning something is really nice. I can learn how to build a computer. But if I never practiced the skill, I'm helpless. So what we try to do here at school is to let the kids just practice with things. We have electricity, we have materials, robotics here at school, and the students can playfully try to learn more and more skills. And once they left school, this is really handy for them. I left school and I had, as we call in the Netherlands, 2 left hands. I was really smart, but I couldn't do anything yet. So that was a harsh lesson for me when I left school. So here at high school as well, we try to get the students known with the materials, how to cut something, what can we do with paper, what happens if it becomes wet, why can't we use it anymore, how to use all the things around us. So we let them practice here at school. They make mistakes. They are meant to make mistakes. If we don't learn how to fall, we don't learn how to get back up. The students also need to make these mistakes to let them learn. At school here, we also have rhythmic learning. Some of them might love it and don't even know that we're trying to teach them. For the rhythmic learning, we can look at things like dancing. The students are learning a certain schedule of movements in a dance, and they study this. They get better, better, and better. This is also a skill. If you're going to work in a factory, or you're going to work in the office, and you do not improve yourself and you do not become better in what you do, you will get stuck in a certain position. And you, as an employee and as a student, need to develop yourself. You need to become better. You need to improve yourself every day. There are billions of people on this world, and it is really easy to find someone else for your job. So be sure that you are special enough for your employee, or maybe you even become your own employer and you start a company. As our body, we need a healthy lifestyle. Someone who is sick cannot do their job well. Someone who doesn't sleep well cannot do their job well. We need concentration. Healthy lifestyle doesn't only look at our body itself, but also looks at our food. It looks how we communicate with other people as well, how we sit at our desk. A beautiful picture which you see right here is the people sitting in their desk. Maybe you've noticed it with the younger students. Most of the students look at their phone nowadays and their stature isn't that well anymore. And maybe in a later moment in life, they will get problems in their neck and in their back. So if your children or yourself notice that you are not sitting properly, notice that at the end of the day you have pain and things are hurting, you have a sensation in your fingers, it means you are not doing things well. Be sure that you don't only live healthy, but also do healthy things. exercising until a certain extent is good for our body. Don't overdo it. We don't need to be a bodybuilder to have a job. A normal fit body is more than enough. We don't have to be super skinny. We don't have to be able to run a marathon every other day. So our food is quite important for us. Enough vegetables, not too much. Enough fruits, also not too much. Meat, for the persons who like to eat meat, full of proteins, helps us to build our muscle systems. Here at our school, we also try to varied menu for these children. Every day we have our little blue plates here where the students get a portion of rice, a portion of vegetables, a little piece of fruit, and meat for the students who want to eat meat. Now, shaping and design our body, as I said, be sure that you have a good structure of your body. If you are going to work as a computer technician, it has no use that you're sitting in a gym every day, making yourself really buffed and big. Be sure that you don't use too much energy. You have one life on this world, and if we use all our energy and we change all our cells time by time because we do so much exercise, our cells have a certain expiration date and it is not that healthy. So movement is okay, but don't overdo it. The next part in the triangle of development and production is our mind. To study, learn, learn, learn. Some of our students are really good at learning from the book. Perfectly, they can read a piece of text and answer the questions. It's a nice skill, it's handy. Now let's give such a student a pencil and make a nice drawing. They know everything about using the pencil, they know how it's made, they know how to sharpen it, they know how the pencil sharpener is made, but they cannot apply their skills. So studying is a good foundation for us as a person, but we also need to practice the stuff. So this triangle, all the 3 points in the triangle, we need to have a little bit of each of them. And together it makes us into a more capable person. Linguistic skills, a language. Here at school we learn English, Bahasa Indonesia. Some students are taking Japanese lessons here. To have more than one language in your repertoire is handy. If you want to travel the world, if you want to study somewhere else, let's say you want to go to South America, you know English and you know Indonesian, it's really nice. In South America, they speak Spanish and Portuguese, and many of these people are not that good at English. So you're stuck. You cannot communicate well with each other. You might be really smart, you might have the skills, but you're not able to challenge other people. You are not able to show other people what you want. And the linguistic skills doesn't have to be writing in particular, but speaking, being able to have a good argument. I tell my students here in grade 10, if you have a problem with each other, you're allowed to argue with each other. No problem. In this way, the students are learning how to communicate and how to handle their emotions. Some of them are in puberty and they're quite easily to ignite. They become angry, they have a short temper, and with letting them argue with each other, they control their temper a little bit, and they also try to bring their ideas out with their voice. Another thing which we really look at here at school is creative thinking. I love creativity. Most of the teachers here really love creativity. We have students which are good at music, students which dance, beautiful artists, they can draw, they can paint. To be creative is to be able to get your mind on a piece of paper, your mind into maybe a piece of music, you are able to express yourself. Creative thinking, for some people, this has to do with art. This also has to do, if you are creative in, for example, problem solving, you can be able to design something which solves a problem. It's the job I had for many years. Creativity, drawing, it is not my kind of thing. I can draw a machine. I cannot draw a person. Maybe if I study and practice it more, I'll become better at it, but it's not my thing. Other students are really good in drawing cartoon characters, and I am amazed by their skills. And from time to time, I've been teaching other subjects at school here as well, like world history. They could not give me their answer in pure text because they didn't remember the words, but they remembered the drawing which I made on the board. And they answered me by giving a drawing. Perfect. They still get their full points. I know exactly the word. For our mind is able to be critical. If you look at something and you don't think that it's the best thing there is, be critical to each other. Don't burn someone, don't push someone into the ground because it's not your kind of thing, but try to build up criticism. Try to be able to understand someone else's idea and implement it on your own ideas. Me, as an engineer, I have had problems with this. I invented something. This is my little project, and I wouldn't let anyone touch it, anyone else, not the machinery, not a repair, not anything. And I learned from this because I kept everything for myself. Everything was also on my shoulders. I had to worry about everything because I didn't want to let go. And I had to review myself and I needed to change myself, which comes to the last point, teamwork. Students need to learn how to work together. School is most of the time an academic process in which you study and you make your test alone. When you're done with school, when you go to work, all of a sudden, this test-making skill is useless. You need to work together with other people. You need to be able to communicate and you need to be able to share your ideas. As I many times tell people around the world, we cannot give ourselves a perfect hand. It just does not fit perfectly. In this way, maybe if we pray. But if you shake someone else's hand, you might feel that this is a perfect fit. We humans are stronger together. If I stick out my right hand to your right hand, and it doesn't matter where you are, if you're born in Africa, if you're from Russia, maybe you're from Canada, the hands fit together perfectly. We humans are designed to work together. Teamwork is really essential for our mind. The funny thing about it is, I never give students during their assignment the possibility to only be able to do it alone. I never tell them that they need to do it alone. They can work together, but they just never do it. And for me, this is a little bit sad and I want to implement it in a better way. With the younger classes, it works quite well to put the students into a group. Us as parents, making a drawing or making a puzzle with the student together is really nice to see. You give the puzzle pieces to the child and the child puts them on the right spot. You give pencils or you change paper. You draw half of the picture and the student draws the other half of the picture, trying to copy from each other. This teamwork is an essential skill to teaching other people as well. If I can do something, and I can explain what I'm doing, I can also teach someone else how to do this. So letting our kids help in the kitchen, for example. You might think, my kid is only 10 years old, 11 years old. Is it safe to let him or her cut potatoes? There will be mistakes, always. But if they do not try, they will never learn it. So work together. Even with your children, you can work together in your home. Do the groceries together. You'll pick up this, I will pick up this. Do the cooking together, the cleaning. One is washing, the other one is drying the dishes. All of this can be done together. Often we live in a world in which we are alone. Everything that we do is alone. We sit alone on the bicycle. We sit alone in the bedroom, alone with our mobile phone. We are not meant to be alone. We are social beings. We have our linguistic skills. We can speak with each other. And we should not forget this. Let's say 50 years ago, almost no phones yet, and it was really normal that everyone chatted with each other. Now I go to a birthday party and I just see everyone there on their mobile phone, and it makes me feel sad. So work together, do things together. It helps to develop our mind. Okay, triangle of development and production, the environment. We might be smart, we might have a good body, but if we do not have the space to do something, if we do not have the materials, we can still not do something. A job as a teacher is quite easy. We have our book, but most of the teachers have our minds, and we can just empty our thoughts to the students, and we only need a quiet environment, but we still need an environment. So here at Sandekya Harapan, we try to teach the students how to take better care of our earth. We try to let them split all the trash. If we look at our classrooms, some have 3, some have 5 trash cans, and we let them split the trash. Everywhere here at the school, it is green. We have plants everywhere. The students can work with the plants and look at the plants. Take your kid out to the garden. Let them do a little bit of work in the garden. It's no problem to get your hands dirty. We are just as much part of this planet as any plant and any little bug and any ant which is crawling around. All together we live on this world, and together we make our world. So the usage of natural materials. Often here at school, I see kids bringing plastic bottles. I do the same. Plastic is easy to use. It is watertight. We can use it quite often. It would be nicer if we could use only natural materials. For a bottle, it's really hard to find a natural material. Do you see any of the people here still walk around with the bladder of an animal? It's nice and watertight. It works perfectly, and it has worked perfectly for years. But it's not handy anymore. It looks disgusting as well. So here at school, too, usage of natural materials. We would like to see if the students make a product that they would use materials which they find around in their garden. Rope from a couple of plants. There are lots of plants which are quite tight, which are sturdy, and you can make a rope out of this. Using wood, using sand to filter water in your aquaponics system. Using wood for our products. If you want to make a little house, you can make it out of plastic, but you can also stick pieces of wood together. Don't use paint which is made out of oil. Try to use paint which is natural, maybe from a flower. Squish the flower, you'll see you'll have the color of the flower in your hands, and you can give something a color as well. And we don't have to use the chemicals. Now, cleaning up our place. Now, Bali and other places here in Indonesia have a big problem with trash. Trash is everywhere. We drink a cup of water, 2 sips, and we throw the cup of water away. It is a problem for us. Number one, there are not enough trash cans. If there were enough trash cans, we could just throw it in the trash can. The number two is educating. We should teach people to be cleaner. We should teach them to clean up by themselves. When they do something, they need to be able to look at their situation. What have they done? What is around me? Can I reuse some of the materials? If I cannot reuse it, maybe someone else can reuse it. And if no one wants it, we can throw it to the trash. Don't just take the energy of a plant which has been in our soil for millions of years, turned into plastic, and just be to waste. Plastic is a big problem. It slowly becomes weaker and weaker. It turns into small particles, but our stomachs cannot digest it. It's too tough. It's too strong. We made a material which is actually really good, but it's not good for our environment. It gets stuck in animals. Fish eat it. They see it as plankton and algae, and they want to eat it. It gets stuck in the stomach. Animals, dogs, find some food outside. They eat the plastic. They cannot handle it. Their acid in their stomach is really strong, and still they cannot break down these plastics. So especially plastic is a material which we need to reuse, or the best thing is not use it at all. Going to the shop, let's say I go to the shop and buy groceries. The groceries, the oranges are in a perfect shell. They are kept well in their shell. It's their own natural material. And what do the people do? They put them into a plastic bag. I don't get it. A paper bag would be better, but plastic, everywhere plastic. It's a product which is so easily used, but it's not good for our world. So to recycle our products, when you're done with your plastic bag, use it for something else. You might use it for many years to come. Sustainability. We need to be able to take good care of ourselves and the environment. We here in Indonesia have the perfect climate to grow lots of food. Lots of vegetables and fruits, they can be grown here easily. We have warm weather. We have a nice sun here. We can get water almost everywhere here. We can grow our own vegetables. We don't have to go to the shop. We can sustain ourselves easily. But not many people do it. Is it too much of a job to give a plant water? Is it too much of a job to put a seed in the ground? Is it too much worries for you? Just a little plant. Many of the plants, we just need to put a seed in the ground. We can use the rainwater to make the soil wet. No problem. We can make a system which catches the rainwater with a pipe which distributes the rainwater, and we don't have to do anything to our garden. We put seeds in the ground and we just walk away. But why don't we do this? Why are we a little bit lazy for this? Why don't we do stuff for ourselves? It's a luxury. We go to the shop. I want an apple. Here is an apple. I want a tomato. Here is a tomato. Life has been made too easy for us, and it makes us lazy. Global warming and our carbon footprint. Now, as I teach geography in grade 10, I also need to teach them about global warming. Now, it might seem as a big problem, but at this moment, our Earth is in a super cold period. For millions and millions of years, places like the North and South Pole were tropical places. There were tropical forests everywhere on our planet. Our Earth was like that. Our Earth was warm. We are just used to being cold right now. So for me, I don't see global warming as a problem for our Earth. I see global warming as a problem for humans. We all live close to the coast. We have rising sea levels. We have problems with salination, salt coming into the ground, which makes our ground infertile. All the animals adapt perfectly, except for us humans. We cannot adapt that quickly. So global warming, our plants will be happy with it. There's more carbon in the air, it's warmer. So what happens, a plant can inhale more carbon. A plant can grow better, there will be more rain. This is perfect for a plant, unless it's close to the sea, by the way. But for all other things, this is perfect for a plant. So the problem is not with nature. Nature will do well. It might become a little bit warmer. Some places might become a desert, but many more places will be able to grow fruits and vegetables. So for us, the problem is purely us. We look at us human beings as making the global warming. Yes, we do it. We help nature a little bit by making it warmer. Or does nature use us? Nature needs more carbon for their plants. We plant trees everywhere. Do we help nature? Or are we just a little puppet of nature? We are part of this world, we are part of the system, and all of the things here work together. Now, the development of education. Let's see, still enough time. Now, us parents, most of us here are parents, there are some students. We are from Generation X and Generation Y. Generation X was the baby boom after 1960. Generation Y, give and take 1980 until 1994. Generation Y is also called millennials. Now, Generation C is the generation which is at school right now. There has been a big development change in technology over the years. We in Generation X and Y, let's just call us parents, and Generation C students, we are so fit in with theory. Study from the book, study from the book, study from the book. Nowadays, we want the students to become more practical. It's nice that you know how to do your math, but if you see a problem, can you use math? So we want to be more practical. And us as parents, we see a change and we don't always agree with it because we don't see the future yet. So there's a big change in education. I was going to school from 7 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon. Students here at school, maybe 6, 7 hours sometimes. And I came home, I needed to study for 3, 4 more hours and a lot of homework. The students nowadays have a lot more freedom to develop their mind. They are not stuck into school. School becomes more fun for them. I hated school. I sat there every day and I come home and it's still school, and in the weekends I cannot go out, it is still school. You need to be happy as well. If you're not happy, you will not study as hard. And if you're happy, if you like your lessons and you like what you do, studying will become easier. The parents' generation, we had a static environment. We come into a classroom in the morning, we sit at our spots, and we're there for the rest of the day. The newer generations have the freedom to roam. They can go outside, take a look at the garden. They can walk around, play around. They don't have a fixed place every day. They can choose their lessons. Let's say I want to do biology in this block and I don't like chemistry. Then they choose biology. They like it. They have a feeling for it and they will score better because they're more interested. If you need to do chemistry and you really do not like it, you're sitting there like, this is not me. I don't want to do this. Nowadays, we have much more choice in education. Looking at 40 years ago, we could choose maybe 30, 40 types of education. If I see a brochure of a university, I get a headache. There are so many studies which they can do. There is such a wide range of jobs they can take in the future. So they have more freedom. The parents' generation were used to the library. If you need something, you need to go to the library. Nowadays, the students have this beautiful thing, a mobile phone with the internet. Google, I need something. They type it in their mobile phone and they have an encyclopedia in their hand. It is much easier for them to get all the information. Us as teachers and as parents, we are used to looking into material and reading and reading and reading. And nowadays, these students, I want this and this. Look, they push a button and I know just as much as my teacher. Do they know just as much, or do they only know the fact? Generation X and Y, they go much deeper into the theory, where Generation Z is so easily to get their facts that they might forget their facts. It's not important for them anymore to study a lot because we have Google everywhere. We have search engines on our phones. Now, Generation X and Y, we study and we learn to make tests, which is quite silly because we're done with school. Do we ever need to make another test? Probably not. Students nowadays, we here at school, that we want them to learn to develop ideas, produce products. We want them to think, we want them to research, because this is more important for them in their later career. If they have a job and they work in an office, they studied how to make tests. Nice, really nice. I want you to research something. Big question mark on their head, how to do this. So to produce products and to develop ideas is much more important than just to be able to score good on a test. We can learn facts in a row, not that hard. Study for a couple of hours, we might score 100. Does this make us smart, or are we good at studying? Now, as I told before, Generation X and Y inside the classroom from 8 till 4. Generation Z is much more flexible. They can go out, they can do their project, they have time to casually sit and chat with each other. There is more time for lunch breaks. There's more time to take care of our health. Now, books and more books, Generation X and Y. The thing I missed when I moved to Indonesia is I was not able to bring all my knowledge, all my books about nature, and now I think like, yeah, I have the internet as well. Do I still need to cut down a tree and develop this piece of paper? Or am I happy enough with a digital version, which is more energy to keeping the internet online or to cut down a tree and make paper? Nowadays, we have videos, music, multimedia. Students can get onto YouTube and study there as well. This is a development which is nice for them. They can choose their way of studying. If you are good in listening to the teacher, you listen to the teacher. If you're autodidact, if you like to study by yourself, you study by yourself. If you are better in watching videos and learning from that, that's the way for you to study as well. The next coming year, having our offline classes, our blended learning and our online learning. This last half year, I saw the difference between students. Some of them were just really, really bad in online learning because they are used to us as teachers. Now, learning and maintaining life skills. Why is this important? Now, the biggest important is the leap from high school to college. You're here at high school, and most of the high schools are just academic, just studying. You go to college, all of a sudden you have 2 lessons in a week, and the rest is filled up with projects. You need to work together with each other. So your life skills are really important here. You need to be able to produce a product. You need to be able to start a fictional company. Let's say that you study business. Let's say you study engineering. You need to make something. It's nice that you know how to cut a piece of metal. You can calculate it with mathematics, how to cut it. You can use physics to see how much energy you might need. But to do it with your hands is something completely different. Internships. Grade 9, 10, 11, and 12 have their internships here at school. Some don't like it at all, and some look forward to it. A week long out of school, sitting in a shop or working for a company and studying at the same time. Some people really like to do this, like to see how things work. Some students, they just don't like it. And I ask these students, if you don't do an internship, if you don't want to work, what do you want to do after school? You want to do another school and another one and another one? Who's going to pay for this? You need to be able to work. Now, fresh out of school and getting a cold shower, the nicest example is myself. I'm a college graduate. I did mechanical engineering. I think like, I can make machines now. I'm the boss here. I have the highest education. The rest of you all have a low education. You need to look up to me. First week, I got electrocuted. Cut my fingers. I got stuck with my hand in the machine. Who is the smart one? The people with the skills? The people with the brain. The people with the skills were the persons from which I learned the most. I learned way more than I could ever do at school from their experience. Working together is important, and at that time I saw that working together with my colleagues is way more important than just being cocky and the best, the smartest. That has nothing to do. You work together in a company. Companion, that means together. How to encourage students to develop products and realizing ideas. Let them be creative at home. They want to draw. They want to glue something together. Well, be sure that they don't glue the closet together, but give them some stuff. Just let them work. They get dirty. They might hurt themselves a little bit. It might be a mess when it's done. But they can learn by themselves. My daughter is just 4 years old now, and she loves to puzzle. She loves to work with garlic in the kitchen. She loves to help me with the vegetables. And I just let her help me. She cuts herself in her fingers. That happens. She gets angry because she cannot do something. That happens. We are their teachers. Us as parents and teachers at the schools, we need to prepare them for the environment. And it is our job to teach them. Don't just put them behind YouTube and they're nice and quiet. This is not parenting. This is not teaching. This is getting rid of your kid by just putting them at the TV. A skill or a skull, which is more valuable for an employer? A skull full of knowledge, handy if you're a manager. Skills, handy if you're a technician. If you have both of them, you can be a manager and a technician at the same time. For me, I had my skull, the skill I needed to learn. And that took me time, but it was the most fun. To see other people do things and be jealous of them, that they can do something really nice. Here at school, we have a student, Jerome, who is a star at the piano. Yeah, I envy him. I wish I could play piano that well, and I listen to it, and he has skill. In his skull, does he know all the notes that he's playing? Can he calculate it? Does he know the vibration? Does he know the physics behind sound? A pure tone or a false note? No. But he has the skill. So depending on where you want to work, what you want to do, a skill or a skull, it's important for an employer. Now, engineering jobs and the future for engineering. Production in Indonesia as a mint country. Now, Indonesia, together with Mexico, Indonesia, Nigeria, and Turkey are the playing a lot of robotics. A lot of automation is happening in these countries. Now, what is important for these countries is that slowly the workforce will also change. We go from being able to work with our hands to being able to do everything by machines. We take out all of the manual labor. Looking at the COVID virus right now, manual labor means you need someone in the factory. If you have a factory full of machines, you don't need someone there. It can be COVID virus for 20 years and those factories will still run. No need for people. The robots will do everything for us. So companies which already prepared for this and work their manual laborers out, they had no problem during the COVID virus. They had a big investment, but they could keep on running. The fight against the machines, the rise of the saboteurs. A sabot, if you speak French, you might know that this is a clump, a shoe. These people, the saboteurs, might hit their shoes to the walls or throw them in the machines. They didn't want the machines in this world. They didn't want to change from manual labor into mechanical labor. They were afraid to lose their jobs. They were afraid to lose everything to these machines. You cannot fight against a machine. A machine is much stronger. A machine is never sick. A machine is better than us human beings because it's not alive. It only needs electricity, a little bit of maintenance. But without us humans building the machine, there is no machine. Jobs of the past, do they have a future? Manufacturing, many of the jobs will go away. We have packaging machines, welding machines, knitting machines. Everything is slowly going away. Warehousing, we have machines which do an entire warehouse. You fill in your order, it picks out your order, it puts it on a pallet. We don't have the people doing all these jobs anymore. Agriculture, machines which are 30, 35 meters wide. We don't have 25 people working on the land anymore. These jobs are all gone. Transport, looking at the Google cars, the automated cars, they drive around everywhere. Transport has a lot of jobs right now. Within a while, it will be gone. People will work more from home. We don't need all the transport anymore. Retail, online shopping. Where is the cashier? Where's the person who advises you with your clothing? These jobs will be gone. People will buy online. They don't have to go out anymore. Soldiers turn into robots. Teachers. You might see at our school that we have put everything online. Will we be gone in a while? Maybe. Will we not be able to teach the next generation? Might. Humans, will we be sent away? Will the robots take care of us? Where might we be in the future? Okay, this is the end of the presentation. Thank you. Are there any questions? Sorry if it was a bit long, by the way. I like to chat. I'm a teacher.
Thank you so much for sharing. Let's open the question and answer session. Everyone, if you have some question, please do unmute your microphone, or you can also just simply type down your message in the chat.
Okay, I'm looking at the chat as well, so let's see.
Okay. Or maybe if you had some experience regarding the, I mean, parenting is hard, right? Right, Pak Jelmer? And it's not going to be an easy thing to do. And if you have some experience to share with us about parenting, basically about equipping them with the real world and real situation that might be beneficial for us, you can also start unmuting yourself and simply share with us.
As I want to add a little bit, me being on school, I wanted to study agriculture. It's the reason why I also teach geography here at school, because I really love it. But some jobs will not have a future. And I started to work, and I saw that the job in engineering will always have a future. There will always be people who need to make robots. And this is, for students, a reason why it's handy to choose a job in engineering. So many students choose a job in economics. Oh, nice, we'll have robots in a while. Computer programs who will do this. Engineering will be needed. We are lazy people. We have machines for everything. We have I don't know the name, by the way, but it goes around your house and it mops the floor. We have washing machines. We have dishwashers. We even have a TV. We can push on a button and it entertains us. We don't have to go to a theater or anything.
Okay, we haven't got any questions so far, Pa. I think it's very clear, and that's also one of the big, it's a sign that the presentation is very clear for everyone. Maybe we can also hear some more from some of our parents in Jaha if or anyone that may I call some of you. Okay, let's hear from, what about Ibu Agnes? Ibu Agnes is at the top. Ibu Agnes, do you mind to unmute your microphone and start sharing about your parenting with all of us?
Halo, good afternoon.
Thank
Selamat
Iya,
sore,
selamat sore
Pak Doni,
Bu.
Pak Jalmar.
Iya. Baik Bu, sudah terdengar Bu?
Terima kasih untuk informasinya, banyak sekali yang parenting lebih terasa di pandemik ini ya. Dekat dengan anak yang 24 jam itu lebih challenging daripada yang antar anak jemput dengerin ngapain mereka kerjain di sekolah. You understand ya Pak Jalmer?
It's okay, Bu. I can help translating later on.
Oh ya. Apa yang saya pelajari sekarang selama pandemi ini, parenting more to control their, not their, is both our emotional. Karena mereka sendiri yang sudah di rumah aja pasti bosen. Terus kita sendiri juga, kita juga bosen juga sebenarnya di rumah. Cuman making parenting still fun, it's quite sulit, maksudnya difficult, challenging juga. Cuman tadi yang kayak tadi Pak Jalmar terapkan bilang kita bisa masak bareng. Jadi saya masak terus si Anya misalnya cuci piring. There is a communication there gitu loh. Maksudnya nggak yang harus kayak bilang orang tua ke anak banget gitu loh Pak. Maksudnya karena Anya sudah agak preteen dia sekarang, jadi komunikasi emosi itu yang saya banyak pelajari selama pandemi ini. Jadi ya sebenarnya hal-hal yang dari mengerjakan kerjaan rumah dan tadi saya mau highlighted banget teamwork itu benar banget Pak. Bukan hanya teamwork Anya dan Audi, ternyata saya dan Anya, saya dan Audi, we are also teamwork gitu loh. Dan putting myself as their friends instead of their parents, itu also juga helping their emotional gitu loh. And hold myself back to like judging them and let them showing apa yang mereka pikirin, what their opinion. Ternyata itu yang membedakan zaman X dan zaman sekarang. Terima kasih banyak Pak, itu aja yang bisa saya share.
Thank you, Ibu Agnes. Yes, it is true. So based on what Ibu Agnes has said, that pandemic is actually, it makes us closer, parents and the kids basically, and they have more emotional. Now we can see our kids in a very different way, different perspectives. Basically, if previously we have this perspective of being a parent and a child is going to be very separated, now it's like it's continuous. We're together, and that's one thing that we have to pay attention on more, especially during the pandemic. Okay, we got some questions. Thank you so much, Ibu Agnes, for your sharing. We got some question from Sita. Thank you for the presentation. The question is how to help a kid to figure out their dreams if they don't know what to do for their future.
Well, as I have, my students are around 14, 15 here, most of them. And what I tell them is what I did when I was young, because we cannot look into their dreams. At least I cannot yet. Maybe I can find out a machine which does. But taking them outside, letting them go to a company or something and just let them walk around, let them see what they like to do. Me, I noticed that I was good with machines. But I didn't like machines at all. I grew up on a farm. I like to walk in the forest. I like to dig in the ground and find some animal bones. But I just had this thing with machines and I was good at it. I didn't have to do anything for it to become better. And for me, that was a insight in something for that was really easy for me. So I wanted to do that job. Maybe they like to go to a shop and they see that they like to sell stuff. Maybe they go to a hospital and see how a nurse or a brother or a doctor and get inspiration from other people. We as parents, we only have normally only have one, maybe two jobs, and we can only give them the experience of one of two jobs. If they speak to more grown-ups, it can be to 60, 70-year-old people. This generation can teach us way more than we expect. They have a whole lifetime behind them. Don't just see them as grandpa and grandma, but see them as a tree of knowledge. They are super experienced in everything that we are not experienced in yet. And hopefully, one day we will be that grandpa or grandma. Okay, Busita?
Thank you, Pak Jelmer.
Okay.
Okay, we got more question from Novia Kohar. The kids are nowadays in touch with gadget. Do you have suggestions of small engineering project to do at home?
For gadgets, yes. The students nowadays really like the games like Minecraft, and those kind of games have a certain background of engineering and programming in it. The students can learn basic program with playing a game. There are many games like Minecraft which like to teach children about economics, which like to teach children about logistics. Now, many kids like to play games, and it is handy if they play games and they can study at the same time. A game like SimCity, in which you build a city, in which you need to be doing the transportation, airfields, water supply, electricity supply. You have certain laws in the city, local laws, garbage problems. This all comes together into one game. The student might really like it, but actually they are learning things as well. And for the younger kids, Minecraft is wonderful for programming. You have a certain redstone. There are things on the internet which they can learn with playing video games. Maybe if they're a little bit more advanced, they can make their own app already, but this is harder. This is more for 15, 16-year-old kids. If they take computing lessons, they learn how to program. But the younger students, playfully let them learn during video games. Okay, so another one from Natalia. I am sorry, cannot talk now, but just wanted to share that for me personally, from the traditional learning teaching methods was not easy. So I was possibly trying to make Valeria to use my Generation X methods. With the time, I learned to trust her that she will be able to educate herself with the help of school, friends, and environment. However, I still believe in reading the books and going to the library sometimes. I think paper books are special still, trying to have my kids still value them. Yeah, Valeria was my student last year. I think she left school now, or at least she left my class, and I was really happy with a student like Valeria. She is smart. Not smart because she has a brain like this, but she's smart by doing her jobs on time and studying by herself. She has a certain, how to call this? She has a certain will to do her stuff every day. I don't have to tell her, Valeria, today you do this. No, she does it by herself. And to get our students and our children
Ada durinya, hati-hati loh ya. Ini ada duri.
To get our students to do something like this out of their self, out of the self-interest, that makes them into a grown-up person. That makes them from a high school student into a college student. I told her too that she is ready for college. Not because she has the age, but she has the mindset for it.
Exactly. Thank you, Pak Jelmer. It's 5:30. It's unbelievable how fast time flies. What we can conclude is that it's amazing. We have this very different perspectives from different view, from different generation, And I think that what makes us during this pandemic, we're being gathered, and we have to do teamwork with even, with everyone basically. And before we end the session, I would like to do the photo session exactly like yesterday. And all right, so everyone, let's turn on your camera as usual. Make sure you have this beautiful look. Okay, before we get into the photo session, I see some of you are not turning on the camera. I would not be starting. I would not be taking a picture until you turn on your camera. Thank you, everyone, for taking some time with us and sharing. All right. Okay, we have, okay. I see some of you are not turning on the camera yet. I'm gonna be waiting for 1 more minute until we have 1 more minute, or maybe less than a minute, everyone. Okay. Make sure you turn on your camera. Make sure you know how to turn on your camera, okay? The camera is right on the, is beside the microphone basically. So simply just turn on that camera. Thank you, everyone. All right, so I'll be taking the picture right now. Okay, prepare your beautiful pose. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, beautiful. 1, 2, 3. All right, one time with different pose, okay? Make sure you look beautiful because it might be shared on your Instagram and you might be tagged, so you don't want to look ugly. Okay, everyone, let's do it one more time. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for joining today's discussion. We will have another meeting tomorrow, Finding the Soul with Ibu Lydia. That will be started at 4:30 until 5:30. So please invite everyone. We want to share as much positivity and as much, all this beauty that we have in Jeha. And we are also collaborating. There's Ibu Ina as well right here. Ibu Ina will be presenting on Friday. So, and I think I saw Pak Adi previously here. Pak Adi, he would be presenting every Tuesday. So we have everything in our flyers, so just have a look, okay? I'll see you, everyone, tomorrow. You will meet me again with the new presenter, with Ibu Lydia, okay? I will see you everyone. See you, and please have a great day and stay healthy. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Doni, Pak Jalmar. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you all for joining. Hopefully see you next week again.
In Cheha, we believe that every human being is just as necessary as building a story, a school that later we call a family. Founded since 2003, we always think that international education that we've been running since 2013 should be affordable and it should be for everyone. This pandemic, creating an unforgettable history, but this also leads us to think of the needs of our families in Cheha. And to facilitate all these needs, we decided to create 3 main programs, plus one more thing. Offline learning programs, blended learning programs, online learning programs, and Sekolahku programs. Offline learning program with only 10 students per class. The total class hours at school are 3 hours for and 2 days, Tuesday and Thursday, and 3 days for Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Health and hygiene check, and starting at only $1,000 per year for 2 days and $1,100 per year for 3 days. Quizzes and mid-semester assessment are conducted online, while the semester assessment will be conducted offline. You will also have the full access to CH Virtual Learning. Online Learning Program. You have all the access for the CH Virtual Learning with one-time interactive meeting per week, one-time discussion forum per week, and even joining all the festivities happening at school. You also have all the library facilities should you need some books, starting at only $900 per year, and all assessments are conducted online. Last but not least, Sekolahku program. Get in touch with our Google form by clicking this link below. Register through CH License Center 0812-3921-9233 via Telegram or WhatsApp. Are you ready for changes to come? Where do we start?